It is not a bad thing to have multiple passions. In fact, having multiple different goals and aspirations is very useful as it makes us more goal driven and gives us a reason to continue moving forward. But the problem arises when we don't know the problem arises when those passions are not properly managed. You want to make progress in all of them but don't know how, but you don't know where to start. You are you've attempted doing all of them at the same time, but it didn't turn out how it didn't but it didn't turn out as well as you wanted it. And now you feel discouraged. Let me say that you are not alone. This has happened to me before. I got excited about my passions and I tried to take on as much of them as I can, only to get discouraged and burnt out in 2 weeks. But at the end of it all, I managed to realize. But at the end of it all, I realized my mistakes. I've learned from them, and and I have improved how I progress in my passions. And now I can share it with you. I have broken these tips down into steps that you can follow along as you can follow along. Each step is just as significant as the last. So, tip number 1: you can't do all at once. Pick one. Uh, Stretching yourself too thin will only get you burnt out faster. What I recommend is you choose one skill and you focus on that skill completely. Preferably, choose a skill that you have the most experience in, and put the others on the side for now. But don't forget about them. When you ch- when you only focus on one skill, you have more mental capacity. I would say that you can put into that skill, and thus helping you make significantly more progress in that skill than if you were to split your brain points, if you will, into multiple different pieces, multiple different pieces. So focus on one skill and that skill only. Tip number 2: stay focused. It takes long-term focus to stay deep. To, it takes long-term focus to stay disciplined on that one task and avoid switching for another task. Well, for me, in my opinion, I get this urge to suddenly switch from one passion to another in in between randomly. And when that happens, I lose out on progress in that one skill. I lose out progress in entirely. So by sticking to one task and one task only and completely focusing on that task, using long-term focus not on that one task, meaning I don't switch to any other task in between while I'm focusing on this one task. I stay completely committed to that one task, that one passion. I stay completely committed to that one passion. Tip number 3: get obsessed with it. You need to think about that task all the time. While you when you just wake up, it should be the first thing that is on your mind. While you're eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, even on the toilet, you should still be thinking about that one task throughout the day. Be completely obsessed with it and and make it a priority. Make it a priority to make progress in that task. Tip number 4, level up that passion significantly. You need to be significantly leveling up that passion day by day, or you need to be significantly leveling up that passion as at a consistent rate. You don't burn yourself out too quickly. You need to be leveling up this passion significantly at a consistent rate. Don't overdo it though, because then you'll get burnt out. But you need to consistently make progress in this one skill, one passion, so that. But yeah, you just need to consistently make progress in this one passion, consistently leveling it up. Tip number 5. When you're comfortable with the results, you can move on to when you're comfortable with the results you've made, you can move on to the next passion while performing maintenance on the first passion on the first passion, so that you won't lose your progress. So when you've reached a comfortable level of progress in the first passion, you can then move back. You can then move on to another passion and start leveling that up as well. But don't forget about the first one. This is important. You need to be maintaining, or you need to be doing maintenance on this passion regularly, so your progress will not diminish over time. When you reach a comfortable level of progress and results in the first skill, you move on to the first passion. You move on to the second passion while maintaining the first skill. You don't have to focus on it as much as before, but you still need to maintain it so that your progress doesn't diminish. And number 6 is repeat. So you repeat this process as much as you want, depending on how much passions you have. And so you repeat this process for as much passions as you want, really. There's no limit to how much passions you can do this with. Just you pick a passion, you focus on it, stay committed to it, you stay obsessed with it, you level it up significantly, you maintain it at a significant you maintain it while moving on to the second passion, and then you repeat the process for that second passion. When you do this, you can make significant progress in all of your skills, while still all of your passions, while learning new ones. It's going to take time to level up all your passions significantly. So don't so this is so when you do this, you're playing the long game. You're thinking in long term. So you make progress in a passion, you maintain it, you move to the next skill while maintaining this passion, move to the next skill, you make progress, you maintain those two, you move to the next skill, you make progress, you maintain all three of them, and you can do this indefinitely. There's no amount of there's no limit to how much you can do this. But this will help you if you're struggling with multiple passions like I was, and will help you make significant progress in all of them over time. But it to be more of a long-term endeavor. Don't aim for perfection, imperfectly strive for progress.